Hello, I'm Cassie McLaughlin, Electronic Resources Librarian at Rockhurst University. Today I want to briefly share with you how to cite a source when giving a speech or oral presentation. When giving a speech, we want to refer to the sources of our information for two reasons. The first being that we want to give evidence of having credible sources. This also ties into avoiding plagiarism and giving credit to others for their work. The second reason is to give the audience enough information that they could find the source for future study. When we are citing a source while giving a speech, we want to include the name of the author or authors. A company or organization can substitute for the name of an author when none is given. We also need to consider if there is a need to include the author's credentials. Include the credentials if they are relevant to the person's credibility or if the cited person is unknown to the audience. For example, I would not cite Albert Einstein's credentials to a group of scientists. Second, we want to include the title of the work, whether it is a book, interview, or article. When talking about an article, it is up to the presenter to decide if the journal title for the article should also be included. Does adding the journal title add to the credibility of the source or clarify the fact? If so, consider adding the journal title as well. Third, add the date. The date will add relevancy or currency to the fact. If it is a historically important date, it gives the context of a time period. Here are some examples of ways to verbally begin citing and referencing a fact. By starting with the citation, the audience has context about the relevance and source before hearing the fact. Here are some examples of using a transition to cite a fact and then include the fact. The first example shows how to substitute an organization for a person. In this particular example, date is relevant for currency. The second example has the author's name, credentials, and the book title. The date is not relevant for this example. In the third example, the author's credentials, date, and title are all included. I could also have included the journal title, but it did not add more credibility to the source, and it becomes a very unwieldy sentence to say out loud. Now that we have a formula for referring to a source in a speech, let's talk about how to situate it in the speech. One easy way to do this is to put the sentence with the cited fact between a sentence that introduces the topic and a sentence that supports and builds out the topic. For our second example related to the Supreme Court, we could talk about how public opinion of the Supreme Court has changed over time. Then we can give our fact. According to a September 2022 Pew Research Center report, 45% of U.S. adults say the U.S. Supreme Court has too much power. Then we can build on the fact by including other dates when the public opinion was different, or talk about factors that can change public opinion of the Supreme Court. This presentation gives you one method for referencing sources during a speech. It allows the audience to refer to the source and provides credibility for the speech. By giving the citation information before the fact, the audience has context for the fact and its sources. For information on citing and writing, either an outline or formal paper, check the 7th edition of the APA Manual or Purdue OWL. I hope this video has been helpful. For more information on writing, citing, and references, visit the Rockhurst Library website or Canvas. Thank you.